Thank you, Nancy and Shreya. Good morning, everyone. Let's now have a look at the top lines. State Bank of India has decided to increase by several times the minimum balance required to maintain a savings account from April 1st. The monthly average balance requirement has been increased to 5,000 rupees for branches in 6 metros. However, according to reports, government asked SBI to reconsider its decision. Supreme Court sought response from Centre and RBI on why depositing old notes is not allowed till March 31st. It is alleged that during demonetization, RBI had said old notes can be exchanged till March 31st, 2017. However, RBI is now allowing only NRIs and those who are abroad during demonetization period to deposit their old notes. International Energy Agency warned that a record 2-year investment drop in oil industry due to weak prices may lead to a potential shortage of global oil supplies in 3 years. According to the latest 5-year oil market forecast, global oil supply could struggle to keep pace with the demand after 2020, risking a sharp increase in the prices. Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport has been adjudged second best in the world according to Airport Service Quality Report 2016 by Airports Council International. The best airport is Incheon in South Korea. Last year, IGI had moved to the over 40 million passengers per annum category, the highest based on passenger footfall. Well, those are the top lines. Union Urban Development Minister Venkaiah Naidu assured that GST implementation will not lead to any increase of prices in affordable housing segment. Speaking at Credai Conclave 2017 in the national capital, he said that currently affordable housing is exempted from service tax and this exemption will continue even under GST regime.
GST laws once passed by Parliament and respective states are likely to usher in implementation of the GST from 1st July 2017. I am conscious of the concerns of the industry vis-à-vis GST. However, I assure you that GST will not lead to an increase of prices and certainly not for the affordable housing segment. Currently, affordable housing is exempt from service tax. My ministry has already taken up with the Ministry of Finance the need to continue with this exemption even under GST also. I have personally written to the Finance Minister.
Government has directed that the selling price of packaged mineral water should be the same at airports, hotels and malls. It has also sought explanation from companies selling packaged mineral water over different MRPs of bottles for various places. Food and Consumer Affairs Minister Ram Vilas Paswan tweeted that the Consumer Forum under his ministry has been receiving complaints relating to different MRP being charged for packaged mineral water at different places. In the month of October last year, Paswan had said that the sale of packaged water and soft drinks above MRP, that is the maximum retail price, including at airports, multiplexes and hotels, would attract stringent penal actions like fines and jail term. The packaged drinking water is sold at 10 to 20% higher rates at these places, while in some cases, MRP is not even mentioned on the water bottles and soft drinks are sold in loose at an increased rate. Let's now move on to the market updates to begin with the United States updates. In fact, the equities there fell yesterday as the chances of a tighter monetary policy from the Federal Reserve sunk in for investors, while geopolitical concerns increased. In fact, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above 50 points. S&P 500 declined by almost 0.3%, with financials and materials leading the decliners, and the Nasdaq Composite pulled back around 0.4%. Moving on to the European markets. In fact, the markets closed lower yesterday there as investors contemplated a rate rise by the US Federal Reserve and, of course, digested the merger news. The FTSE 100 is down by almost 0.33%. Frankfurt's German, that's DAX, is slid by almost 0.6%. And CAC 40 in Paris dipped by almost 0.5%. Now, moving on to the Indian markets, in fact, extending this year's rally, the Sensex and Nifty surged at 2-year highs yesterday. Better than expected GDP numbers and, most importantly, the progress in GST Council meets, which makes the nation inch closer towards GST regime, had boosted the sentiments of the investors. Sensex rose by almost 216 points to close at a 2-year high of 29,048, while Nifty advanced by 0.74% to close at 8,963. This is a level which has not been seen since March 3rd, 2015. And finally, at the Asian markets, in fact, the stocks opened on a flat note early today after Wall Street slipped on concerns about US President Donald Trump's ability to focus on economic policies, while the euro on the other side slid on the fears that an anti-European Union candidate may be elected as France's next president. So we can see some sort of flat note because that has been reflecting on the Asian markets. SGX Nifty showing negative trends. So overall, a subdued trend in the global markets, and Indian markets are expected to take these subdued cues from their peers. Those are the updates in the finance world. Once again, back to Shreya and Nancy.